Hi there and welcome to Apple World. Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-accomplice and the mother of 3 of his youngsters who died in 2018, supposedly knew about Diddy's most obscure mysteries. And as per Burgess, she depended on him with the recording and records right away before she passed. This disclosure alone has sent the talk factory into overdrive, with many addressing whether Watchman past thing was really as honest as it appeared. Was she attempting to safeguard herself and her youngsters by giving over this data? And what precisely is on these Blaze drives that could be so harming? The Blaze drives, as per Burgess, contain accounts from D's infamous gatherings, occasions that have for some time been murmured regarding in Hollywood circles. These social events, frequently held at D's confidential homes, were said to be selective, welcome, just undertakings gone to by the greatest names in the business. However, as indicated by Burgess, what happened at these gatherings was undeniably more than simply the typical big-name guilty pleasure. He asserts that the recording shows some of the most well-known stars on the planet participating in problematic ways of behaving, which a few participants, supposedly uninformed that they were being shot. The accounts, Burgess says, portray activities that could ruin notorieties as well as whole vocations. Came here today to tell the truth, so ideally we can get down to the base. It is, I'm 100% the charges against me are 100% bogus, and ideal, due because of time. Well, begin to see that it doesn't stop there. Burgess likewise guarantees that among the recording there are clasps, including underage people, which if reduced into proof could lead to serious lawful ramifications for those elaborate. This by itself has raised the stake essentially in D's impending preliminary with lawful specialists as of now, estimating on the expected aftermath. If these tapes are conceded into court, the repercussions could be devastating, not only for Diddy, however, for anybody ensnared in the recording, and with bits of hears whirling that a portion of these famous people are even more prominent than Diddy himself. The unease in Hollywood is overwhelming. It's an issue of that, yet when you read through the arraignment, it's unmistakable who could be prosecuted as a co-plotter right now. There are individuals in the arraignment who might be thought about anonymous co-schemers, yet obviously play had an impact in this trick. And I think examiners have some enormous influence on them in light of the fact that their trust in that they affirm against Diddy as arraignment witnesses. Adding fuel to the fire is the presence of a original copy that Burgess cases to have in his ownership, a composition supposedly composed by Kim Porter before her passing, named Kim's Lost Words, an excursion for equity from the opposite side. This record apparently details T.S. Porter's encounters with Diddy and uncovers stunning data about their relationship and the numerous dull insider facts she revealed during their time together, as indicated by Burgess. The original copy illustrates a lady who was profoundly grieved by what she knew and was not set in stone to uncover reality, regardless of whether it implied endangering herself. Porter, you realize that is Diddy's ex, who's likewise the mother of his 3 of his youngsters, right? Has definite the claimed misuse that she endured at his hands. And this is all in a journal, and to be sure, Porter's abrupt passing in 2018 has taken on another light right after these charges. At the time her passing, ascribed to regular causes. However, reports have since surfaced that there might have been more going on behind the scenes. Burgess has recommended that Porter was turning out to be progressively unfortunate in the months paving the way to her passing, and that she might have been quieted previously. She could open up to the world about what she knew. While there's no substantial proof to support these cases, the planning of her destruction combined with the items in the composition has caused a commotion. What's significantly more agitating is the way that this original copy momentarily showed up on Amazon recently, but was quickly brought down after resistance from Diddy's youngsters. It's muddled whether the composition was pulled due to legal pressure or, on the other hand, in the event that it was just a question of safeguarding the family's protection. However, the occurrence has simply added to the interest encompassing Porter's story. Burgess, for his part, demands that the original copy is legitimate and that it contains crucial data that could help bring Diddy's haziest mysteries to light. However, not everybody is persuaded. Some regarding Porter's dear companions, including Leaned Path, have freely reviled the original copy, and Burgess cases calling the entire thing a manufacture. Path, who was supposedly extremely near Porter, has expressed that it is basically impossible that Porter would have composed such a report, and that Burgess is just attempting to benefit off of her memory. This has made a split between the people who knew Porter, with some supporting Burgess's adaptation of occasions also, others demanding that the composition is just a trick. Just with this Cassidy thing, Cassie thing, I didn't have any acquaintance with her. However, I realized someone like her, and that was Kim Porter. I didn't have the foggiest idea, Kie, however I knew someone who was going through exactly the same thing she was going through, and that was Kim Porter. Still, the reality stays that Burgess's declaration, joined with the affirmed presence of the Blaze drives in the original copy, has made a firestorm of discussion, and with Diddy's preliminary set to start in May 2025, it's impossible to tell what different disclosures could come to light before very long. Legitimate specialists have previously started conjecturing on the expected effect of this proof, with some recommending that it very well may be a defining moment for the situation. If the tapes are considered permissible, it could fundamentally reinforce the indictment's body of evidence against Daddy and lead to much more charges being documented. As for Diddy's lawful group, they've been on the guarded from the very outset, fervently denying every one of the claims against him. They've contended that the allegations are important for a planned orc to cut Diddy down, and that Burgess is basically looking for consideration and monetary acquire. However, with the sheer weight of the charges stacking up, it's becoming harder for Diddy to keep up with his blamelessness in the court of general assessment. What's more, the way that his lawful group has currently seen two high-profile legal advisors step down from addressing him hasn't precisely helped his case. Though, Diddy would toss all his VIP mates under the transport. I imply that might actually be coming when it's the ideal opportunity for court, and when it's the ideal opportunity for him to affirm. Yet what we're seeing right now is how significant advertising truly is to Sean Combs. He's frantically attempting to control the account in jail, permitting his lawyers to do narratives. The public response to these claims has been quick, and wild fans and pundits the same have taken to web-based entertainment to communicate their shock and, what's more, incredulity, with many calling for responsibility for Diddy as well as for whatever other VIPs who might have been involved. Media outlets, which have for quite some time been safeguarded from the results of terrible ways of behaving, are currently confronting retribution, and Diddy's case could possibly be the tipping point. The question presently is whether these tapes will, as a matter of fact, come around, and what the aftermath will be. Assuming that they do, the ramifications of this case go a long ways past Diddy himself. Assuming the charges are genuine, it could uncover a culture of mystery and offense that has saturated Hollywood for quite a long time, and with probably the greatest names in the industry supposed to be involved, the stakes could be higher as the fantastic jury keeps on surveying the proof. Everyone's attention is in Diddy and his lawful group as they get ready for what vows to be one of the most hazardous preliminaries in late memory. This is exceptionally critical, just from who we partner, Diddy being what's more, all that we've seen him do over the many years. Like you said, this is the destruction to go from, we saw the chateaus back in spring that were struck by the Fed. So to go from living in those houses to being in the prison cell right now, I think it, as a matter of fact, CT highlights the extent of what he's confronting and the heaviness of the government. The impending months will be basic in deciding how this case unfurls, with the two sides preparing for what makes certain to be an extensive and hostile fight in court. The terrific jury's choice on whether to concede the tapes into proof will probably be a defining moment for the situation, and could set the tone for the whole preliminary. If the tapes are permitted, it could make ready for additional observers to approach, possibly prompting considerably more harm. Disclosures with such a great amount at stake, it's no big surprise these lawful groups are battling without holding back to keep the tapes out of the court. However, as more subtleties arise, it's becoming progressively challenging to keep a cover on the debate, and with the general population clamoring for answers, it appears to be just a matter of time before reality comes out. Hello. Genuine, rapidly, all that supermarket stuff. He's not getting any of that since individuals in the shoe have a truncated list, so he's in a tough situation. No state for him, definitely he is unsued. Observe, this person figured he would have returned home out of nowhere. He didn't get bond, recollect the main night that he was there. He resembled a short-term visitor. As we trust that the preliminary will start, a certain something is clear. This is only the start of what could be a long and excruciating figuring for Hollywood. Diddy's case has currently uncovered breaks in the media outlet's exterior. And as more subtleties become known, those breaks could broaden into an all-out breakdown. The inquiry presently is the way profound the deep, dark hole goes, and who else may be trapped in the aftermath. This embarrassment has currently dazzled the general population's consideration, and with the preliminary still months away, it's impossible. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.